Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. Hope you're having a fantastic day heading into another weekend. Thanksgiving is less than a week away. Absolutely crazy that we're heading into the end of the year holiday season. But here we go. Shout out to the 19. Folks, this one's just, it's kind of funny. I mean, I really got to laugh. I got to laugh at this. Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark turned down participating in Unrivaled. Now, look, I get a lot of people were holding out and wondering because of how much pressure Unrivaled was putting on Caitlin Clark that she might change her mind. But as we know, she actually said no a long time ago. Asia Wilson said definitively no even longer ago than that. So we all knew that they weren't playing. Yeah, it's possible it could have changed, but we already knew this. But what is absolutely funny about this story that we're going to get into here is what I believe is it her agent. I'm not, I got to double check on this. I don't want to quote the wrong person, but apparently now we had the rumors that sources telling Clark was offered over $1 million plus equity in the business and so on and so forth. Now, I always thought that was odd because I thought every player playing in the first year of Unrivaled was going to get equity. So that's not really like a bonus for Caitlin Clark. She's just making a little more money for the season. Again, not worth it to her at all with everything she has going on, with all the money she makes, with her draw in the WNBA. There's no reason for her to go out and play with these players again in order to get them paid after everything that went on this past season. It just doesn't make sense for her. But what's funny about this, and we're going to get into some responses too, is the source here, a source close to Wilson. That's right. We didn't actually get a name for this. So a source close to Wilson. I believe they did offer more for Asia compared to Clark because I know what they offered Asia. Okay, but you don't actually know what they offered Clark for one. They have a lot of money and they offered her a lot of money. And I was even just like, oh, you sure you don't want to do this? But I also understand she really values her off season, blah, 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 blah. So no one, ever since she said no originally, no one has been talking about Asia Wilson playing Unrivaled. No one. No one has been clamoring for her to play. There hasn't been a movement to get her on board. No one is hanging on every announcement about Unrivaled and debating about whether Asia Wilson is going to be playing. It's always been about when Caitlin Clark. I swear this is deja vu all over again. It's the rookie of the year race all over again. But now it's Asia Wilson playing the role of Angel Reese, where every conversation about Caitlin Clark in Unrivaled has to be, oh, and did I say Asia Reese? If I did, I apologize. Angel Reese, obviously. But now it's instead of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, now it's Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson. And yet, if Asia Wilson decided to play now, it would have zero impact on the league in terms of ratings or attendance or interest. Kate Martin has a bigger impact in terms of eyeballs and viewers than Asia Wilson does. And no, everyone just relax. I know I'm going to get all the screams about the tanning stuff and, oh, she's the best player in the world. It doesn't matter. No one has any interest in watching Asia Wilson. Hasn't that been clear for the past 6 years? She's not entertaining to watch. She's a good player for the league she's in, but she's also a typical player. She's boring, folks. I don't mean that to be mean. I'm just trying to make it clear so you understand she doesn't bring eyeballs. Nobody really cares to watch her. It's Caitlin Clark that said even the Las Vegas Aces moved the game because of what the attendance would be with Caitlin Clark. The Fever set a combined attendance home and away record in only 26 games, which means so we know they absolutely obliterated it. The TV ratings, the top 15 were Caitlin Clark. Her games averaged almost 1.2 million viewers. The league was 394,000. It's absolutely ridiculous. And for a league, look, I'm going to set this aside because I saw someone that had made a comment about this. If this were an established huge league like the NBA or the NFL, yeah, they're paying players based on talent. You're talking about a women's basketball league, a shoot off really of the WNBA that's lost millions every year for 26 years. What they need is eyeballs, hence the full court press on Caitlin Clark. Asia Wilson doesn't do anything for the league in terms of whether it's going to succeed or fail. And that's where the pay scale is going to come from. Clark can't do the All-Star three-pointer if she was in Unrivaled. That's a good point too. But let's see what we got. The source. Nobody is getting more than Clark. Asia is a gifted high-impact player on the court, but nobody gives a crap about her brand or off-court persona. With actual attention economics at play, Caitlin's participation in any league has an existential bearing. Nobody outside of Asia herself cares whether Asia shows up. And that is it. 100% nailed it right there. In fact, this being put out there from this source, just from everything I've seen and know, okay, this is just my opinion. I don't have facts to back it up other than I have a working brain. Yes, I do. Shush. Is Asia Wilson wanted this out there because she is the most insecure narcissist the world has ever seen. She has to get this attention. She has to make it known that she's better. She's the queen bee, folks. She is the face of the league. So the face of women sports now, 100% the face of the WNBA is offered less. The only person that could fill an arena for a basket weaving competition was being played for a second fiddle. Unrivaled was foolishly unserious. Caitlin can give you this motion. That's right, folks. 55,646. Iowa shatters all-time women's basketball attendance record. Outdoor game. That was Caitlin Clark. You saw what was going on with golf and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has a motion that Asia Wilson cannot even comprehend. I swear Asia hangs around the dumbest people. All they do is make her look bad. But she also doesn't correct this behavior or clarify ever, so I'm led to believe birds of a feather. And that was my point. I think this was put out by Asia Wilson. Now she may have told someone else to be that close, that close friend, that source, but it was her idea. A lot of money. CC can command tens of millions for long-term sponsorships. The new league can't afford that. There's no way this offer would be financially attractive for CC, in addition to her desire to rest and train in the off-season. Calling me. I like that one. That's a good one. I made it up. Yes, there you go. I'm not watching Unrivaled. A source close to Wilson. Oh my goodness. Okay. She's so pathetic and insecure. Yeah, I use narcissist instead of pathetic, but pathetic works too. If true, it ain't, then really stupid people in charge. What drives making even more money is attendance and willing to pay for tickets. And in this case, really, it's all about the TV eyeballs because the attendance is like what a small high school gym, basically, in terms of what attendance can fit in there. Only CC got $1 million gates for league, first time ever, and TV viewership, 100%. Now, yeah, this is rational. Like Asia turned down Unrivaled, personal decision based not only on her health, but also she wants to be ready for next season because there's no telling what's in store. Yeah, I mean, Asia said it long ago. That's why I said this has only been kind of like the Angel Reese Rookie of the Year thing, where it's like, well, all this, every announcement, right? Unrivaled went, what, 10 deep with their announcement. And then it was starting back on like September 12th, they were going to announce one at a time. And it's still going on, right? We still don't have all the players because they kept holding out for Caitlin Clark. And that was the point. Every time there was going to be a new announcement, everyone's wondering, did Caitlin Clark change her mind? Did they find a way to convince Caitlin Clark to play? Did they throw enough money and everything else at Caitlin Clark to get her to play Unrivaled? There was no mention of Aja Wilson. No one was talking about Aja Wilson, right? And this, which goes to my point, Al, good timing for this next one I was going to. That's crazy because literally nobody asked, and sources close to Aja Wilson decided to answer anyway. Why would they offer her more than Clark? Her jersey can't even outsell a bench player on her own team. She was in the league before Clark and hardly moved the needle, stopped the agenda and the crap. This isn't the face of the league, and why the heck does she make that face every time she makes a block like she just scored the winning touchdown at the Super Bowl? There are tons of these folks. Very much went in the favor of Aja, please, we're not buying this stuff. And to this post was in a response as well, which I thought was good. Las Vegas Aces had an 18.1% growth last season. That's the second worst in the league, which, by the way, the flip side of that is it shows you the kind of impact Caitlin Clark had on the entire WNBA. They also failed to get a single million view in the playoffs, despite the from Clark Mania. Now make your logical deductions. 100%. That's the one I really wanted to read for you. Think about that, folks. You saw what the finals did, right? You saw what happened because of Caitlin Clark. Make no mistake about it. These are Caitlin Clark fans that stuck around for the finals, but Aja Wilson couldn't get a single million viewer game in the playoffs. That is absolutely, absolutely crazy. Um, is this? Yeah, I'm not even going to read it. I'll change my mind on this. There's just a lot of wild nonsense. For poor Ken. I think this is poor Ken. Is this the one I'm looking at? Yeah. Poor Ken responded, but there's no jealousy in the WNBA. If Unrivaled offered Wilson more than Clark, which I don't believe for a minute, they deserve to fail miserably because it would be irresponsible. When I say poor Ken, I don't mean I like the tweet, but he got a lot of, people went right to the skin tan issue on that. It was, which was wild. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How many of you think Unrivaled actually offered Aja Wilson more money than Caitlin Clark? And how many of you think it was actually Aja Wilson who wanted to get this out there because of her incredible insecurity and narcissism? But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for checking out this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I will talk to y'all later.